Hello everyone, welcome back to Twilight Tales. If you're here, then you already know. We don't just tell stories, we open doors. And sometimes those doors lead to places you may wish you'd never found. Before we cross over tonight, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Because in this tale, crossing over means never coming back. Now turn off the lights, get comfortable, and don't look out the window, not tonight. This is the story of the town's last bridge. No one comes back. There are some towns the map seems to forget, places that exist in the folds of old highways and twisted memories. Elden Grove was one of those towns. You wouldn't find it unless you were lost, or unless it wanted to be found. No one moved to Elden Grove. They just ended up there, and always there was the bridge. At the far edge of town, beyond the dying pine trees and the gray hush of the river, stood a rusted iron bridge. Its beams were twisted like something that had been crushed and reassembled with bad intentions. Locals called it Blackstone Crossing, but most folks just called it what it was, the end of the road. Because once you crossed it, you didn't come back. They'd tried to tear it down in the 60s. The demolition crew vanished overnight. They tried to close it off in the 80s. Chains rusted through within hours every time. Eventually, the town just gave up. "Don't go near the bridge," they'd whisper, especially after dark. But people did. Teenagers, drifters, curious newcomers, and none of them ever came back. The official story said car accidents, or that they'd just skipped town. But people in Elden Grove knew better, because sometimes, just sometimes, you'd hear them screaming. Ellen Burke was a stranger to Elden Grove. She arrived in a black SUV with New York plates and a box of letters from her sister, who had vanished there 6 months ago. Her name was Marie, and she'd been a journalist working on a story about haunted towns. Ellen never believed in that stuff until Marie stopped answering her calls. Marie's last letter said she was going to investigate the bridge. She'd written, "If I don't come back, it's because I found what they're hiding." Then nothing. Not a word. Ellen didn't believe in ghosts, but she believed in answers. She got a room at the only motel in town, the Willow Creek Inn, and started asking questions. Most people slammed doors or looked the other way. But on the third night, an old man in a flannel coat sat beside her at the bar and said, "If you want answers, you've got to see the bridge for yourself." His name was Caleb, and his voice sounded like a gravel road. He told her stories about the bridge, about how it was built over a native burial site, about how people said it had a pulse, about how some folks believed it wasn't a bridge at all, but a doorway. "Don't go alone," he said, sliding a rusted lantern across the table. "And if you hear your sister calling, don't answer." Ellen left for the bridge just after midnight. It was colder than she expected. The fog rolled thick over the road like spilled milk. When she reached the bridge, the wind died. The trees went still. The river below didn't make a sound. The bridge looked ancient, more like bones than metal. Her boots echoed as she stepped onto the grating. It groaned under her weight, like it hadn't been walked on in years. Halfway across, she stopped. Something wasn't right. The air felt too thin. The sky above her wasn't sky at all, but something deeper, black, empty, watching. Then she heard it. "Ellen." A whisper, too close. She spun around. Nothing. Ellen, help me. Her heart nearly stopped. It was Marie's voice. Faint, desperate, coming from the other end of the bridge. She took a step forward, and the grating shifted under her like it was alive. She looked down. The river was gone. In its place was a black pit, endless, rippling like oil. Another voice joined the first. Don't leave me here. A different tone now. Something more amused. Come to me. Ellen's breath caught in her throat. Her body froze, but her legs wanted to move. One more step and something grabbed her ankle. Not a hand. Not claws. Fingers made of shadow. She screamed and kicked free, running back the way she came. The bridge behind her groaned, then laughed. Not a person. Not a thing. The whole bridge laughed. She didn't stop running until she was back in her room, where she locked the door and sat in the corner until morning. The next day she packed her things. She was done. She was leaving. Whatever happened to Marie, whatever was on that bridge, she couldn't fight it. As she threw her bag into the SUV, Caleb appeared behind her. You saw it, didn't you? Ellen didn't answer. You can't leave, he said softly. Not yet. She backed away. Watch me. But the road out of town was gone, literally gone, like someone had peeled it off the earth. Where there had once been a road was now a stretch of black woods too thick to pass. She tried another way. Same result. Every way out led back to the bridge. That night, the dreams began. She dreamed of Marie, standing on the bridge, eyes hollow, mouth sewn shut. She dreamed of voices calling her name in every pitch and tone, some begging, some mocking, some hers. She stopped sleeping. On the 6th night, she found Caleb waiting outside her room. There's a way to end it, he said, but you have to go back. Why me? She asked. Why not you? He smiled sadly. Because I already tried. I made it halfway and lost everything. My wife, my son, myself. I've been stuck here for 40 years. Ellen felt the truth, in his voice like a knife. There's something in the middle of the bridge, he said. Something old. It feeds on pain, fear, regret. And when it calls someone, they can't resist. But how do I stop it? You don't. But maybe you can trade. At midnight, she returned to the bridge, lantern in one hand, her sister's letters in the other. She stepped onto the iron bones and kept walking. At the center, the fog thickened. The air turned syrupy. She heard voices, her mother, long dead, her ex, her own voice, and then Marie. Real this time. She could feel it. Help me. Marie's voice cracked. Ellen raised the lantern and saw her. Marie floating inches above the bridge's center, skin pale, eyes black, mouth twisted in a scream that never ended. Dozens of others surrounded her, people from newspaper clippings, locals who vanished, all suspended, all broken. The shadows moved behind them, a shape, not a person. Not even a monster, an absence of everything. It slithered along the cables and bones, wrapping around Ellen's thoughts like vines. You came for her. How sweet. But she's already part of me. She gritted her teeth. Take me instead. It paused. You'd give yourself? Yes. The shadows pulsed. Then came the scream. Not Marie's. Ellen's. The thing lunged, pouring into her like smoke into lungs. She fell, seized, gasped. And then, nothing. When she woke, she was standing, in the middle of the bridge. Alone. Marie was gone. The others too. And the fog was lifting. She stumbled back to town. The roads were back. The trees whispered, "Thank you." She drove away at dawn. Never returned. But sometimes when she dreams, she's not in her bed. She's standing on the bridge again. And this time she's calling someone else's name. If you ever find yourself near Elden Grove, keep driving, because that last bridge, it remembers. And now, so do you. Thanks for listening to Twilight Tales. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because stories like these need to be heard before they find you first. Good night.